You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the end of the world as we know it. And Lenny Bruce is not afraid. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Yeah.
Sons of bitch.
Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast. My name is Bill Sweeney. Haven't changed it yet. And over there, you heard him a little bit. That's Uncle Jay.
Bastard ass sons of bitches.
See, he's back. And Brother Bob, he's been here the whole time.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I guess I'm Misery's company today.
I guess. Well, then, who's Misery then?
Well, Jay, no? With that intro.
You murdered my misery.
Okay. What's that from? Am I missing the reference?
Misery.
Oh, you murdered my misery. Yes, right.
You should know that.
I should,
yeah.
but I'm obsessed with the cock-a-doodle car moment. That's the one I remember most.
Palmer tweet me over here like a sons of bitch.
Well, he's tagging us and stuff. He's helping us get the word out. He's telling people that Agent Palmer.
Doing it at his time.
He technically is. He's
So
doing it
Bill,
on our time.
I tweeted the tweet.
Good job. Good job, Agent Palmer.
Take it easy on Agent Palmer. He works for all the abuse he can handle.
That is definitely one way of putting it. That might be on a business card. This is episode 197. If you're keeping track at home, getting close to that 200 mark when I totally quit. Because
I'm predicting that too.
yeah, I am too. We do it live every Sunday for some reason. Saturday. Damn, I was so close. We do this live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mixlr. I try. We gave it a shot. It's an app. It's a place to go listen. Either way you like it, you can do it. Download it for free, or just search for us when you go there on your desktop or laptop, if people still have those. Mixler.com/wicked-theory. Come hang out with us, get in the chat room, play the chat room game. In the meantime, we'll hit you with some pop culture news and other reviews and nonsense. You can send emails if you got them to podcast, because this is a podcast. Send it to podcast@wicked-theory.com, because that's our freaking website. Voicemail too.
Awesome.
No one does it, but you could. Speakpipe.com/wicked-theory.
Okay.
Uncle Jay,
What's the matter?
this is the spot where we do opening things. And besides falling down a flight of stairs the other day, what's been going on with you?
That was privileged information
Shit,
I
I'm
shared
sorry.
with you.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, you could have said, Bill, I know nothing of what you're talking about. And
I had a little slip. Let me take care of this in 10 seconds.
Okay.
I took a little spill down the porch when we had some icy weather. I'm fine.
And done.
Nothing broken.
And then we're done.
And that's that. What else would you like to know? What was number 2?
I was playing a funeral dirge.
Well, let me say that happened Sunday. Monday, I was
You would have settled for that?
bad business.
Bad business.
I might as well been dead.
But yeah, well, other than that,
What was number 2?
Number 2 was you have an update on.
I do. A few shows back, you heard me talk about his name was Jason,
Yes.
which is a Friday the 13th fan film. That's going to be funded by Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Well, we hope so, anyway.
I'm opening up a beer. Continue.
This week, well, next week, basically, I believe it launches.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in following that, there's a Facebook fan page called His Name Was Jason. If you follow my Jason John Chickalise Facebook page, you'll see it there. If you feel like donating $1, you know what I mean? Donating, $10, there's some rewards, I believe, that are going to be. It hasn't launched yet, but there's going to be some rewards, some fun stuff, some prizes,
Cool
a
shit.
few laughs. I'm very excited about this project. I'm a co-writer, as well as the one of the 3 leads. And so, it seems to be going into the next level next week.
Nice. So, people, check it out. We'll keep you abreast of when it actually drops.
You said breast.
I did.
Yeah.
but just one. A breast.
Rest.
Keep a
piece of the biscuit.
keep a breast. I don't know where you'll keep it, but keep it.
You keep it next to the other one.
That's a good place. It's a good place. That's the best place. But not in your refrigerator.
I think the goal is 20 grand. So.
20 grand?
And he's got about 2,000 people on that page now.
Right.
So we'll see.
All right, sounds good. It's already warming up. The fan base for it, the little community behind it.
Sure thing.
And the Kickstarter is going to launch real soon. So
look for it.
Keep your wallets warm.
And once it launches, I'll announce it here too.
Sure. Every little bit will help. Folks.
On the Twitter page too. I'll launch it there. And we will see.
We're going to bury you folks in it. No.
There won't be any Alice Cooper soundtrack though. That we can't afford.
That we can't afford. That damn Alice Cooper. All right, folks. We'll keep an eye out for that. We'll keep you in the loop. What did I do? Did I burp it? That damn Alice Cooper.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Alice Cooper. Just the other day, I was on Facebook and someone posted a picture of Alice Cooper at their local supermarket buying Girl Scout cookies.
Well, and the crazy thing, I didn't know you could get Girl Scout cookies at the supermarket now.
No, he was out front the Girl Scout.
Oh, he was out there helping.
The desk, and he had he was on the other. You know, he's buying them from them.
Oh, okay.
They had the desk outside.
Gotcha.
The Girl Scout thing going on.
That poor girl.
Yeah.
She's got no idea. Well, I guess that's kind of like all we really had to throw out into the open. We could set up a chat room game. I think it's going to be a fun one.
What do we got?
We got, folks, just for you, kids that are listening live, movies gone wrong. You know, like...
Showgirls.
You could just put Showgirls in, no adjustments. I like that.
Like Cannonball Run 3, no breaks?
That would be fine.
Well, they did make it. They couldn't afford to put a Cannonball Run in the title.
Right.
So they called it Speed Zone.
Oh, that's right. That was Speed Zone.
John Candy was it.
Examples for this one include One Crashed into the Cuckoo's Nest, or Indiana Jones in His Last Dying Breath, or Last Tango in Prison. So it's just ways that movies go wrong. You know, the verbiage in the title. What's the worst thing that could happen, basically?
Last Tango in Prison.
The Last Tango in Prison. You know what that is.
That brings a whole new meaning to the butter.
Bring me the butter.
Subtitle, The Tossed Salad.
The butter.
Toss me the butter.
I need the butter. Give me the butter. Where's the butter? It's going to be romantic.
Put your fingers up my ass.
Just a little bit.
That's verbatim the screenplay.
From what I understand, and I've never seen it. That's all I've ever heard from, like...
Give me the nail clipper.
Oh, God.
I can't breathe. Honestly, it's more butter.
Rated NC-17.
Someone mark this down. This is the moment we went off the rails.
Hello, my brand. Hollywood legend.
But we're not lying.
Not far from the mark, is what I
We're not
understand.
lying. We're giving the facts.
So there it goes, kids. Movie's gone wrong. Play with that. We'll come back later. We'll see what you did, and we will have fun laughing with you or at you, depending on what you do with it.
7:08 it was.
7:00. Look at Bob, like trying to keep the show on track or something.
No, I asked to mark the moment that it went off the rails.
Fair enough. That's not bad.
What, was that like too long for a throwback?
No. I didn't get why you were dropping the time at first.
Santino. Okay. Look what they did to my baby boy. Look what they did to the Bud Light.
All right. So, with that, we are going to start heading into the news section, because enough with just humoring us. News o'clock. Oh, folks, it's been a while. Parker, get the butter. Fire. We're just gonna mash up everything now. So, it's a sad state of affairs, folks. It's a sad time. It's all true. It's bad news. It's a bad news bonanza. Netflix has officially canceled The Punisher and Jessica Jones without even Jessica Jones airing. They were like, we are fucking done. Netflix was like,
Yeah, they were like, "Fuck you, Marvel."
you're like, okay, we'll air it, but we are out of this deal.
Yeah, but we're gonna put it on like 12:01 on Thursday night.
You know,
No wonder they
Just
put me on
spiteful.
both.
they were willing to hire anybody. They got Uncle Jay.
I think the fight was over putting you on the cover.
So allow me to say, I mean, I'm supposed to be a perpetrator on Jessica Jones.
Oh.
And I'm supposed to have, like, I'm getting, like, locked up. Just cuffs on me.
Is
and
this the
everything.
clearest we'll be able to see you in one of these finally? I mean, or the best, this might be the best exposure you get?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, of all the days that you were on those sets, this one seems like that, though?
Right.
Fair enough. Your guesstimate.
Right.
But,
But Artie Bucco was there.
oh, so he might eat up all the fucking time, Tony. Tony, I'm just trying to make a good Alfredo, and then you come in here and you kill all my friends. That's like 20 episodes of Sopranos.
He's a very good actor, though.
He is that guy.
And it was cool just watching him work, because even in between takes, I was just like watching him do his thing. But
I forgot the sad music was still
Was
up.
he method acting, walking around in character for hours?
it was just to see he was on the telephone, like saying something or whatever, and it was
Okay.
just, you know.
Fucking Artie Bucco.
Fucking Artie Bucco.
But yeah, I'm a perpetrator.
So there's that, folks. A reason still to watch Jessica Jones if you were going to just give up on it.
To see me get arrested.
To see Uncle Jay get arrested. And you can decide what crime it was.
Yeah.
You can make that up in your own little head. We could play that game that week.
Right.
So work on it now.
Maybe because I was mad about the 10th of a second I was on the Punisher.
10th.
The 10th of a second.
Well, that's being
That's generous. That's
Thank
very
you.
generous.
Thank you. So there's that. And then there's a little bit of everybody pour out a little bit of whiskey for Jessica Jones,
Oh, hold on a minute.
and if she's around, she'll come and slurp it off the floor because she's
not much of an
She
alcoholic.
loves it. Jay, there's not a lot of whiskey left in there. Don't pour it out. Just drink it.
No, I'm going to drink it.
Okay, that's why I thought you were
gonna
gonna
pour it out in
I just
my
wanted to make sure.
In the hole.
So with that, my other thing in here is that Banana Splits is making a comeback,
Why?
but
Is it going to be like cartoon, please, and not like live action?
actually, it's going to be a horror thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Something like that. Basically, the story's going to follow this kid named Harley, who celebrates his birthday by attending a taping of the Banana Splits TV show with his family. And things take an unexpected turn, and the body count quickly rises. Ken Hurley and his mom find some safe escape out of there. Basically, it's going to just turn into a bloodbath, I guess. It's a
Nice,
bold move.
Yeah, it sounds like okay, what the fuck do we do with this license? And how can we do it as cheaply as fucking possible? Because this sounds totally like a really low budget.
Yeah, I think it might end up having that feel to it, but I think the thing to say is that, like, for a company like Hanna-Barbera or anybody who owns the rights to be like, oh, okay, you want to take this really cute thing that a lot of people still kind of remember and, like, totally turn it on its fucking ear like that? Oh, okay.
Right.
Like, that's a surprise to me. Like, I like it. I like the fact that they're willing to do it.
Yeah,
Because I'm a little creeped out by some of them sometimes. The ones wearing sunglasses always kind of shook me the wrong way.
Yeah, well, maybe they had such a hard time trying to reinvent that license on their own.
That somebody walked in and they were
That
like,
somebody walked in and they were like, "Great, we're getting some money out of this." Okay.
yeah. So
Which is HR Puffin stuff?
that's next, maybe.
Oh, Banana Splits. I'm
Banana
sorry.
Splits is like the five of them, and a lot of them just. And they're in a band. There's an elephant and like two dogs and a cat, I think,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
looking at them. But
Yeah, what's next? Great Space Coaster.
listen, that's not a bad idea because that's another character who used to creep me out. Is the guy who used to drive that thing. All those Sid and Marty Krofft kind of guys, just all right on the edge
like-
of.
Yeah, it's like they came up with these ideas like right at the end of a bad trip.
It's just like one of those things where, like, I literally on paper as a drawing looked okay, and then they made the costume and like, no, let's not even tweak it. It's a little creepy now, but let's leave it.
I like when Peter Griffin got stranded on the Great Space Coaster. Do you
On the
remember
Great
that?
Space Coaster. So, But basically, you did have a point there, Bob, where it might be low budget.
That might be the only way you can do it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So the characters Bingo, Fleagle, Snorky, and Drooper will appear in the project, which will debut on VOD and disc before airing later on Sci-Fi Channel.
Laserdisc.
On Laserdisc.
Wow. So they're actually going to release it at home first.
That's the plan. Unless it turns into something amazing where suddenly they get the balls to put it into a theater. But I'm sure people will be crying about this. Some fan base that are going to be like...
Yeah, someone's going to make the mistake of thinking it's their childhood thing reborn,
Yeah.
and they're going to put it for their kid in front of it.
You know?
And they're going to be like, oh, oops.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
When they actually bring them to the theaters and like, I don't know why the Banana Splits is rated R. I mean, that's crazy. You know?
I'm all for it.
Well, these days they bring the 3-year-old kids to rated R
Anything.
movies, right?
That's always been a problem. You're right. But yeah, I agree with Jay. Anything like that's going to take something like this and go that crazy with it, I'm at least going to watch it.
Yeah, I want to at least hear about it and see what's going on.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Is that it?
That's the only song that I know how to sing.
Oh, I thought you had more news.
No, I do. Do I have another one? No, I don't. We're over to Bob now.
Yeah, actually.
Bob's got a couple of things.
Yeah, I got a couple of things. First one is actually a bit of Xbox news.
Xbox.
Yeah, we don't normally do Xbox news, but this is a very unusual thing, and this could hint towards the way things will be in gaming in the future.
Right.
Huh.
All right, because basically, Xbox they came out recently with the Game Pass. Right?
Okay.
Not just Xbox Live, where you sign up for that. Game Pass, like every game in their library, is open to you as a Game Pass member.
Right.
For a monthly fee.
Okay.
Right. Basically, that's how it works. Now they're going to make this an app.
Right.
They're going to try it out as a cross-platform thing with the Nintendo Switch because Nintendo was signed off on having them upload their app to their service.
Right.
So if you have a Nintendo Switch and you want to play Halo or some of the cool Xbox games,
Okay.
you can now download the app, or you will be able to shortly.
Right.
Download the app,
And then you play within the app.
and then you play within the app. That's basically the emulator
Right. Sure.
that will allow the Switch to play the Xbox games.
Bold move.
Right, and they're going to be like different. The Switch isn't the most powerful system, so they're going to be a little. They might have to downgrade them a little bit here and there, obviously, but the system will know and adjust, and it should all be seamless once you have the app. So you'll be able to download the app and buy the service.
Okay.
Using the app.
Right.
And have the monthly, almost like you're doing on your Xbox.
Sure. Yeah, you're playing it through your Switch now.
And if this works out.
Yeah, that's quite a move. That's quite a game changer in a way.
Right. Yeah, it is.
No pun intended.
Yeah, it is, because now, think about it now.
It really wasn't, but...
They get strong enough Android systems.
Yeah.
It'll be available for Android, and then it'll be available for iOS, and then you won't need to have necessarily a system to play all the games.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
You could just, you just have the one system and the other app, and you won't need to stockpile.
These things in our hands are pretty powerful systems these days. So
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have one like I do that's 4 years old.
Right. Well, hey, if you're on the cusp of technology, keeping up to date with all that stuff,
Yeah, actually, I think it's 5 now. But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's that with the Xbox.
Yeah.
So
gaming fans, keep alert on this.
Yeah,
you might see that partnerships and changes like that. Who knows what?
Yeah. I mean, PlayStation is starting its own cross-platform idea with the next generation.
Fair enough.
Because now it's become such a big deal with Xbox that they have to come along too, and they've been saying for years through systems.
Well, since the beginning, really.
They've gone back and forth on this.
Yeah.
They're trying not to have to do it because they like to guard their stuff, I guess. Where Xbox, being the number 2, they've had to do this to stay competitive.
Right. Sure.
And now it's tables are turning a little bit. So you're going to see some changes. All right. This other one.
Yeah, your other item.
Yeah, the other item is a lot of YouTubers are using.
Yeah, I'm aware of this. Yeah,
YouTube to as a way to communicate with other kiddie porno files.
Yeah, I mean that's
You know,
kind of what's going
and-
on.
Yeah, and they're looking through some of these videos of your kids doing innocent things and letting others know, hey, this is cool. I like this. You know,
Yeah, check out these timestamps.
You know,
And it's always innocuous stuff. It's mostly girls doing gymnastics or like, you know, they're whatever they're doing. They're clowning around with other girls and they're wearing little shorts and stuff like that. So anytime like there's like, you know, happens to be like some kind of salacious or kind of sexual kind of pose or a split second, these guys are all in the comments. It's a big problem. It's been going on a long time.
It actually has been going on a long time.
Yeah.
And it's come out again.
Yeah, it's come to light again.
You know, this is after like, the early days of YouTube. This was common.
Yeah, yeah.
But now they've figured out how to circumvent the system and use it against itself, because the way YouTube searches work,
Right.
once you've done a couple of searches for something, it becomes it becomes one of the main things that you see in your feed.
Right. So if you do basically a search for bikini related stuff, let's say, it only
Right.
takes a couple of videos for you to click on before your suggestions all on the side are just these young girls.
Right.
Because the algorithm, sadly, has
It's become so accurate.
right, that it knows that there is a want for people to view all these other videos. So it only viciously feeds the cycle of these things being so easily found. And
Yeah. So
a video came out recently that kind of made its way on Reddit. This guy, Matt Walton, something like that. He did like a 20-minute video on it. I watched it the day it dropped. You know, he's really doing this impassioned, like, kind of like, this is some fucked up stuff. This really sickens my stomach. And he showed a lot of ways that these guys do it. And these guys also communicate to each other in the chats about, you know, and drop other links for other stuff.
yeah.
So what I find strange is that more videos don't have the comments turned off for these young kids, because let me tell you, if you're like a parent and your kid's got a YouTube channel and you're all on top of it, and all of a sudden it's like, well, why is my 8-year-old got one video where she's doing tumbles and somersaults, got 600,000 video hits, and it gets hits every day,
Right. And
like
why-
crazy amounts of hits, crazy amounts of comments.
And they don't go looking at seeing who's commenting.
And I understand, like, you can't. It's a hard thing to explain to like a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old why we're taking your video down or we're locking it up. They're hard conversations to have, but at the very least, turn off the comments if your kids are posting anything. I've watched so many people who have kids who used to have their kids in their videos.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Where like they just turned off the comments because even if it wasn't getting like all pedo and creepy, like it was getting like just too much attention, like, you know what I mean, on the kids. And so like, but anyway, it's the big news right now, and a couple of advertisers have pulled out.
Yeah, a couple of big ones.
Yeah.
Disney, I think Nickelodeon.
Yeah, and from the initial thing that dropped on Wednesday, it was Disney and Fortnite had pulled their ads, and now even there was a link there in the sidebar. A couple of other big ones have pulled out advertising on YouTube. So YouTube is most likely going to overcompensate as they normally do with these things, and it'll be a big hubbub.
Right.
But YouTube's got their shit all fucked up. I mean, they're trying their best. So
I think what they really need to do is just promote their parents that if
Yeah.
your kid's going to have a YouTube
Yeah.
channel, or if you're going to post videos of your kids there, they need to be locked out and kept just for family.
Yeah.
And then when you want to share that, you go ahead and share that because you have links for that.
right.
And that's it.
You can private
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
You definitely just make it private.
Yeah.
If you can lock out and make some kind of group that you can only invite people to, maybe that would be something.
Yeah, I
you know,
mean-
for your kids' friends and everything.
Right. I mean, your kids will hate it because they'll be like, I want it, and trying to explain to them will be a problem. But, you know, YouTube's doing their best. It's obviously some people are like, well, why is it still there? Like, why is it still a problem? Because it's not the easiest thing to kind of filter out. But trust me, now, since the heat is on them, they've been like canceling a lot of accounts and killing a lot of accounts from these commenters and stuff like that. So they're on it, but, you know,
Yeah.
YouTube works in weird ways. So don't expect it to go down easy is what I'm saying. But
The heat is on. The heat is on.
it's on the streets. But dun-dun-dun-dun. So yeah, that's really gonna wrap it for the news.
Well, I
Unless
got one
Jay's got an
little-
item. All right. What do you got? Well, okay.
I got one little biscuit.
A little biscuit.
Yeah, a little nugget.
Little nugget. What do you
Yeah.
got? What do you got? What do you got?
So
What do you got?
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, brother. I forgot.
That's right, brother.
Yep.
Well, Chris Hemsworth will be playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic
Right.
directed by Todd Phillips,
Nice.
someone
Okay.
that I've worked with. I'd like to.
Which one? Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips. That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dude, I gotta see him with that mustache, bro.
I gotta say that this is a great choice to do it, man.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I don't know who else you could have gotten. It's as good as you're gonna get right now in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
You gotta,
Just-
otherwise, you got to find somebody like Dolph Lundgren out of the blue. You know what I mean?
you would only play
You
him
know,
like now.
But
Right.
the one
you gotta
last
find
thing-
someone like that, like you, who's like 6'4" and young. You know?
right.
But the one thing I have to add here
Yeah.
is that Wes Weezar, our friend Wes Weezar, posted this in
Right.
The Real Thing, and he said Jason Chickalese should reteam with Joker director Todd Phillips and play Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah!
Yep.
And I would do it in a heartbeat if they just said, I'm going to send in a
If they would
tape.
let you wear foam rubber muscles.
Oh hell yeah! It can be done. Look at that guy on Preacher, the demon guy.
Yeah. Or even the guy like right now that's in Umbrella Academy is doing a similar thing where he's like in a rubber bodysuit that looks pretty convincing. But I don't know. I don't see you as Macho Man.
Well,
You know, I think you might be.
No,
Who was the cop?
no, I'm thinking Captain,
Boss Man.
No, Captain Lou Albano.
Well, right now with that beard he's got,
yeah.
he'd be a very tall Captain Lou.
You just need to get the rubber band around.
Captain Lou's got about 100 pounds on me. I'd have
Tall and slim.
again. I'd have to wear something.
Something. They do like a fucking.
Paul Bearer.
I want Jay to them to do like a fucking like Dorf on film where Jay's gonna walk around or like on his knees with fake shoes and a big belly.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
No, I couldn't do that.
How about George the Animal Steel? I feel like there's a George the Animal Steel inside you.
Again, these are all things I'd have to wear some kind of bodysuit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like as far as dead on looks, Paul Bearer is probably kind of close, but not
Yeah.
really. Like when you're shaved, if we pasted you up.
Bob
with
can
someone...
get away with George the Animal Steel more than I
Well,
can.
that's kind of true. Maybe. I don't know. But
Maybe
Get some green food dye on my tongue.
that's it.
the Anvil Brothers. I could be one of the.
Yeah, the Legion of Doom. You could be one of the guys in the Legion of Doom.
Right.
That's not bad. Covered up with the shoulder pads and the
Or
face
Brutus.
makeup.
I can do Brutus.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah, I have to shave though, and
Okay,
I'm about his stock.
What about
I
China?
got it.
What about China?
I got it. Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter. The hat, the glasses, the mustache.
Big boss man.
Yeah, well, yeah, big boss man we mentioned. That was the cop.
I want 10 push-ups now.
Hey, man, I want 10 push-ups. He's still alive too. I saw that he was on a podcast recently. I totally did not listen to it. I was like, I don't have the patience for
But he does. I think I heard a tidbit of it on YouTube when he talks
Okay.
about his G.I.
Honky
Joe
tonk
thing.
man. Honky tonk man.
Honky tonk man. All right. And then when I was a kid, I used to get people used to be like call me Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I used to get that a lot. Al Bundy and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, but the weird thing is they didn't know that our grandparents lived like 1 block away from Hacksaw Jim Duggan upstate.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
As long as my cousin Matt plays Mick Foley, I'm fine.
Well, that works. And actually, you wouldn't be bad for McFoley either. You wouldn't be a bad mankind.
Well, Matt and I kind of resemble.
Yeah, there is a similarity there. All right, so that's that. That's the news really this week. It was a little lean on the old news.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, buddy.
Who's in the
I
chat?
could stretch out my meanwhile a little bit.
Yeah, when we get to
I
that.
got a couple of things I could
Well, when we get to that.
Bill, who's in the chat?
Who in the chat?
Because
Good point,
you went
Jay.
right over that.
I went right over that. So I don't know if these people are still in the chat room. My display will leave in people who exit. So
Give it a refresh.
not without stopping the show.
That's true.
Agent Palmer, Sammy, Wesley, James, and full-blown AIDS. Somebody with the full _blown _ AIDS. Which, I don't know, is this the age of Opie and Anthony? I mean, maybe. I feel like full-blown AIDS is an Opie and Anthony reference, to be honest with you. So, congrats to you if you're still in the room, full blown. FBA.
What's your email address? I'm at full blown.
I'm at full blown AIDS.
At
but
Yahoo.
Don't forget the underscores. Don't. You need the underscores. All caps on the AIDS because it's an abbreviation.
I'm at full blown AIDS at MSN.
And Hotmail. Hotbot. I had a Hotbot account.
Prodigy.net.
Jay, what was your first screen name online?
Johnny Chance,
Johnny
73.
Johnny Chance 73. Nice.
Because I was obsessed with Rio Bravo, which is John Wayne Western.
Sure.
And his name is John T. Chance.
Gotcha.
So you said John E. Chance.
Right.
Which is actually kind of cool, if you think about it.
Well, Full Blown AIDS in the chat room says Full Blown AIDS. Full Blown AIDS or HIV at gmail.com.
Okay.
Woofda. Oh, man. Full Blown AIDS hanging out in the chat room. He's actually got a couple in the game, in the chat room game. Let's go to the chat room game. Let's see how that's come through. I think there's still a couple people dripping in with them.
You want to go after the meanwhile?
Let
them play with it.
Yeah, let's let them play with it. We'll go back to it after the meanwhile. Kids, the chat room game, keep it alive a little bit. We're giving you a little bit more times. That's true. I am presuming that full-blown AIDS is male. I don't have a way to know. He, she, they, them, there.
Actually, Bill, it's a virus.
That's true. It's just, it's a biological entity.
I guess it's ultimately transgender then if it's a virus.
It's open. That's for sure. It's open to anything.
Steph Muniz in the chat.
Full-blown AIDS does not pick sides.
Is Steph Muniz in there?
Steph is in there.
Stephanie,
better known as Sammy.
how you doing?
What's up, Sammy?
Sammy 87.
How you doing, baby?
Steph, co-host of the Gotham Lights podcast.
Oh, I know who
I
she
think
is.
if I remember correctly, she's coming to us from Phoenix.
No, she's in Pennsylvania.
I thought she went back to family.
Well, I wasn't going to give out. She's actually in Germany, probably then.
Oh yeah,
Those are her three locations. I don't know.
Those
Those are her three locations, as far as I understand.
It's like where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
Right. Where in the world?
Stephanie,
Sammy.
how you doing, baby?
Beauties.
Keep it cool.
So,
And I miss you.
by the way, Full Blown AIDS, all his suggestions for the chat room game, AIDS related.
Well,
We are really
once
rolling
you
back
take
the
on
clock.
a name like that, I think they all have to be.
Stick with the bit, I say, no matter what happens. All right.
It's a bit for life.
So, in the meanwhile, I'm just going to give a quick update. Last week, I talked about Umbrella Academy and Doom Patrol a little bit. I finished Umbrella Academy. It's pretty good. Doom Patrol is only 2 episodes. I really like Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol's got all the personality. Umbrella Academy, pretty straightforward. You know, it's got some quirkiness and stuff like that going on, and it's funny. It's got its great marks. But Doom Patrol is going for, like, another level of just, like...
After your review last week, I went and watched the first episode
of which
of Doom Patrol.
Okay.
And I'm actually kind of impressed with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to play somebody who's like can't show any emotion.
Literally the most robotic
like thing there.
Yeah.
And he's kind of pulling it off.
Yeah. And what's funny too is that if you know what's going on there, that's like one guy is in the costume and Brendan Fraser does all his stuff like off-site, like in a booth. He's just there like as voice only.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The guy in the suit is like the last guy who played Jason. Was in a suit for one of the Friday the 13th or something.
Okay.
Kane Hodder?
No. Maybe I'm wrong
Ken
on that.
Kurtzinger?
Or he played somebody. I forget.
Well, then it's a perfect role for Brendan Fraser because he's coming back from a lot of personal difficulties.
And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of flashbacks. You see him, in his race car day before the incident puts him in the robot suit.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So they keep up with that in episode 2, and it's got a lot of personality. Like the main villain is the narrator of the show. And so there's some meta moments once in a while, and they do a lot of smart kind of stuff. So
I got to catch the second episode.
So that's my recommendation. Keep up with it, and
So no Encino Man 2? That's not happening?
well, I mean, it could. You catch up with him now.
Maybe I should do it.
Well, think it's only fair that we throw it to Brendan first. If he passes, then we'll pull you in.
Well, not with a hit show.
No. Well, I'll write a shitty treatment. This way he passes, then we'll revise it and make it good.
And
Make it good for you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And then another show that just started, I think it's a BBC show, if I remember correctly, it's called Curfew. Only one episode came out, and this has got Sean Bean and a bunch of other kind of very familiar faces, including Billy Zane. And it's kind of like...
Titanic?
No, what's the one? No, this floats. It's kind of like, what's the movie where like you once a year you get to go out and kill people? Purge, right? Where it's like that kind of a setup a little bit, but it's like this race that happens. So every night, like, because I think people are kind of getting turned into zombies or something like that, people have to stay inside. There's a curfew. But one night out of the year, you can quote-unquote race for your freedom. We haven't been shown exactly what the full meaning on that is. But basically, that's the whole hook of this, is that there's like this kind of like really crazy car race that's going to go down.
Okay,
so the first episode kind of ends, spoiler, with the race and go, like that. So you meet the characters in this whole thing, see why they're racing and what's going on, get to know this kind of world.
Like Death Race?
So it's like...
Kind of like that?
I was thinking The Long Walk, but faster.
Much faster and on wheels. But you guys are both right. Like, it's got that kind of feel. Like, for everybody in it, it's like the option. It's their only option to get out of, like, this kind of shitty life, I guess. And, like, we haven't seen the action yet, but everybody's car has got, like, armored up plating and, like, or it's super fast. So it's got this kind of thing going on. So, really curious to see how it goes, because it's going to be on, like, a TV budget, you know?
Right.
And also, like, are they going to stretch out the race throughout all the episodes? So I'm curious as to how they're going to format it going forward. But not bad. I got pulled in. I was surprised I got pulled in with some of the characters' backgrounds as much as I did. So I was digging it.
They took the Death Race 2000 movie. They remade it.
Right.
As Death Race with Statham. Do you remember that?
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of different movies. I think they went straight to Blu-ray.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if they kind of stole the idea from that, maybe trying to give it legs on TV or something.
Well, that's what I feel. I feel like it's like another thing where it's like it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that, it's a little bit of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's got this purge element where it's only once a year, you can do anything you want, and everybody's off the street, so you don't have to worry about running anybody over. Only people who are allowed to be outside, they have a special pass, are out. Like, yeah, and it's like looks like they're gonna go a death race kind of thing. Through the narrow streets of London, I guess, which is going to be interesting to see, and get used to everybody driving on the other side. Yeah, you know, I think it's got some potential in it. You know what I mean? And Sean Bean didn't die in the first episode, so that's good to me. You know what I mean? The guy who dies all the time, he's like
every first episode.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not dying as much anymore. Okay, people. Like, people just expect it now.
Right, so they can't kill me anymore.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you.
So
the first season of Game of Thrones.
Fair enough.
And the first Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's became his bit.
Give them a moment for pity's sake.
What is great is in the chat room is that people are just, as we make reference to random things, like, oh, that's a movie title I can use for the game. Oh, that's a movie title I can use for the game. But Bob's up next. That's all I really had there. And Bob's bringing us...
Well, I'm going to, before we get to that,
sure.
I'm going to jump into something real quick. Cause, something the last couple of days has been on my mind, and I realized I should probably talk about it.
Oh, okay.
But it's not personal or anything.
Oh, right.
It's...
Sounded like
I went on and... I kind of complained to you about the quality of the Orville this season after the first episode.
Sure, right. I've heard it from a couple people, actually.
Yeah, but they've redeemed themselves.
Okay.
It was almost like they had 2 or 3 bad scripts to get through this season before the better ones.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That happens.
Came along, and they really. You really needed to watch the last episode because it's part 1 of a two-parter that involves a very surprising twist with one of the main characters.
Right.
Up until now, somebody has been a main character.
Right. Palmer's like, don't spoil it.
I'm trying not to spoil it.
All right, let's walk away from it then a little bit.
But So it's actually. after like the whole Jalosia episode where it was a whole about his pee, having to take a pee, annual urine or something.
Sure.
Things got better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm actually enjoying it more after the last within the last 3-4 episodes.
Okay.
And
it's on an
same
upswing.
Yeah, same thing. I got to say real quick about Discovery as well because Discovery, Alice Kurtzman, thank you.
Okay.
For taking over.
Okay.
Because it feels like Star Trek now.
Okay.
And I guess that's a nutshell. That's all I'm going to say about that. You know, but it's a big turnaround. It's a lot more lighthearted now.
Okay.
And the stories have more of a moral bent, which has always been a Star Trek TV show.
Yeah, that's always been kind of the thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're getting to that now, and that's
good.
nice. So
Yeah.
it's a much more enjoyable season than the last one. Not that the last one wasn't enjoyable. It was a fun season. It was just action sci-fi.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, okay, now that I've said that.
Sure.
Thrash band, Overkill.
I'm familiar with them.
Right. I did a review of Satan's Taints CD here.
Sure.
Featuring the former guitar player from Overkill.
Right.
They have a new one out. It just came out yesterday.
Right.
It's called the Wings of War.
The Wings of War.
And Bill, if you want to try and bring that
Yeah,
one up.
I'm all queued up. You just
all
tell me.
queued up?
Yeah, I'm all queued up. You let me know.
Go ahead. We'll start that. Jay, I want your opinion on this one.
I'm listening.
All right. Bill's going to bring this one up. You got to listen to the lyrics, Jay.
Listening.
Very punky.
Just a little.
Is this the Jersey one?
This here's Billy from Philly. Get the fuck out of my state.
All right, so that's the Jersey attitude in a nutshell right there.
Yeah. Welcome to the Garden State.
Yeah, so that one right there is one of the high points of the disc. All right.
And also the story of my life in a song. It's awesome, man. I like it.
Yeah, that's a cool one. But honestly, at the end of the day, this disc is one of their weaker ones for me.
Okay.
Simply because they're a band that has a formula.
Yep.
They tend to do things they write the same types of songs on every album. So when those songs aren't standout quality,
right, sure,
they tend to end up feeling a little flat.
Yeah, I can see that. You know.
So for me, instead of this one being like 4 out of 5,
it's the breakdown.
So ultimately, I mean, if you're an Overkill fan, it's an album to have.
Right.
For me, the only other one is "Hole in My Soul."
Okay.
All right, which is actually it sounds really good, and ultimately kind of lets you down a little bit, but not as much as some of the other ones.
Okay.
It's another story of my life.
But anyway, Overkill, it's a new CD. Overall, it's not bad. It's Overkill. I'm a fan, so I enjoy it. But I also know its weaknesses. So if you like it, check it out. You know, they're a band that they kind of hit and miss with some people. So if you're into them at all, check it out.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right.
And that's me on the
Meanwhiles.
Meanwhiles.
On the Meanwhiles. Oh my gosh. Did anybody even notice? Anybody even notice?
No, what? What? We stopped?
I didn't play the Meanwhile sound.
Wow.
Who told you that, Wes?
No, I just maybe someone mentioned it. I don't know. I just
also
kind of
didn't
noticed right now myself. I didn't
Mention
see.
the chat room.
I'm sure someone probably did. Someone's probably calling me an asshole. What else is new? Jay, you got anything for Meanwhile?
I do.
You've been watching stuff. You've been watching.
Yeah,
you could even do a book if you're a booker or a readster.
Booker. No.
You know?
Wasn't that Richard Grieco?
Oh my God, Booker. Hey, I got gel in my hair. You're under arrest. I got an earring in the correct ear. You're under arrest.
Sponsored by Studio Line from L'Oreal.
I wear light color lipstick and eyeliner.
You can smell the car noir through the TV.
First of all, anybody who's not watching True Detective, watch True Detective.
Okay.
Have you been watching it?
I am. I'd like to turn this off now and watch the last episode, but it's not on yet.
No. I'm just telling people they should start watching it.
Yeah. I said that in the beginning. You know, if you stepped off of it because it had a weaker last season or whatever, get back on it. It's worth it.
Sunday is the season finale.
I watch it at work, and you know what happens? I start walking around and talking like an old man that might have lost his mind a little bit. I'm like, what did you say? What the fuck? What?
You sound a little bit more like the Steven Dorff character. And
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
And he's awesome in it, man.
It's the only thing I really like Steven Dorff in. Is that okay to say? Like, Steven Dorff has always been an actor. I'm like, okay.
There's Steven Dorff things.
You're very
like.
Dorffed. I think I've talked about it before.
You like Blade.
Yeah, like, that's it. Like, it was like this and him and Blade.
And
Everything else is like, oh, they got Dorff.
And Judgment Night.
Yeah, usually everything. Speak for yourself. Just don't tag it into my likes. But anyway, yeah, True Detective is definitely worth a watch.
Yes,
this season.
definitely take a look at that. I've been watching that. Been watching Walking Dead. It's getting interesting too. Some interesting stuff in there. I actually went back and watched a horror movie I never saw, and I'm actually surprised to actually say that because it's something I would have watched day one when it came out. It's a film called Two Evil Eyes.
Okay.
Two Evil Eyes was an anthology horror film released in '91. Two directors, George Romero and Dario Argento, the famous Italian.
It's Dario Argento.
Exactly.
Please, I make a movie.
Known for some of the great giallo horror films of our time. Anyway, they decided to tackle
that stuff's delicious.
Each
giallo.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like a.
Let me get through this.
Sorry.
All right. Let me just get through it.
It's like sherbet.
And then we'll talk about giallos.
Okay.
They decided to adapt the Edgar Allan Poe story.
Oh,
each of them. One was called The Black Cat, which has been done a couple times.
Sure. I think I remember reading that one.
And it's Harvey Keitel, and I can't think of the second person's name, but another episode is called The Facts in the Case of Mr. Valdemar. And that's with Adrienne Barbeau.
Okay.
E.G. Marshall, George Romero alumni.
Classic stuff.
And these were really cool stories, I have to say. You know what I mean? It was done, they're each like an hour a piece.
Okay.
And it has this Tom Savini practical effects going for it. Really cool. So anybody who's ever like a fan of like Creepshow or Tales from the Dark Side, give this a watch. It's one that slipped under the radar. It didn't do very well in theaters. It didn't get a wide run. But it's definitely got some really cool horror elements in it.
All right.
Some cool cast members show up, actors that you don't see anymore, like John Amos.
Okay.
So definitely check that out. There's a Blue Underground Blu-ray. Blue Underground's the name of the distribution company.
Good, because I thought you might have
Blue Underground.
Fair enough.
Definitely check it out if you're a horror fan. I wonder if John. I don't know if John Zombie John is in there, but he should take a look at that. There's some really good ideas in there.
Fair enough.
So I caught up with that one after 7 years. It's always one that you know it's there. You know, like I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
And then finally, I sat and watched it.
The only thing I want to know about that other one is, does Harvey Keitel play the cat?
He does not.
See,
But-
I don't
but-
know.
but
I think the
the-
cat's been miscast.
But this is the thing. When you look at some horror anthologies,
Sure.
sometimes even like on Tales from the Dark Side,
Right.
sometimes the acting can get a little over the top and a little rough. Then you get somebody like Keitel in there, who really just he's bringing it for you.
no, I'm sure.
And Dario Argento, there's a couple of extras on the disc, and they talk about how they certain people told him ahead of time, saying Harvey might be a little hard to work with.
Yeah.
But he said that was not the case. He was there. He was there to play. He was there to give it his all.
Team player.
So, and I was happy to hear that because I'm a big Keitel fan.
I was accused just now of having a weed cough, and I'll have you know, it's Marlboro Reds.
Right.
All right. The weed cough would have been earlier, if we're just being honest. that particular cough.
What are you gonna do when they don't sell Marlboros no more, Bill?
Oh, just smoke lead paint. Like, what else is going to kill me as fast? You know what I mean? I just need,
Cigars, brother.
you know, I got to be able to function at work, you know. But you're right, cigars, just crack them open. All right. So, I think that's cash. That's a
Cash,
cash,
yeah.
trash, or stash. That's a cash.
Yeah.
All right, kids, check it out. I think it's time to do the chat room game.
Yeah.
I think it's
Cool.
time.
Let's
I
get
think
to
it's
it.
time. I think it's time. Kids, the chat room game was movies gone wrong. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we're going to go dark on this one, kids. Movies gone wrong. Ghostbusters 2, The Menstrual Monstrosity. That's gross. Indiana Jones, The Crystal Skull. Just as is. Lord of the Rings, Return of the J. Deadpool's Wicked Theory. All right. Star Wars: The Return of Jar Jar. Ooh, yeah, that's not that's not the way to go. Crazy Rich Politicians. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that one at all.
No, that sounds like a disaster.
That's
movie to
bad
me.
news. No one's gonna want to know about that. The Bride of Bill Sweeney. Yeah, that movie's taking a turn. Player Not Ready. No Quarters. All right. I like it. Harry Potter and a Goblet of Poison. That's the bad way to take it. The Princess Bride AIDS edition. Guess you know who that's from. Ralph Breaks the Bone. Star Wars: The Dead Jedi. Star Wars: Attack of the T-Cells.
Terrible.
Star Wars of the Roses.
That's a good one.
The Ebola Strikes Back. Tango for Cash.
Okay.
Revenge of the Syphilis. Pansexual Wars: A New Hope.
Living at the bell. It stopped.
Thunk. Old Age Mutated White Belt Geckos.
Okay.
That is bad. Broken Condom instead of Broken Arrow. That definitely is when it's all gone wrong, folks. Titanic 2 now with bigger doors.
Oh.
Sink just that much faster. Lord of the Soap Rings, Fellowship of the Tub. Short Circuit 3, Johnny 5, a twosome with Siri and Alexa. Gross.
You want to see that?
Yeah. Star Trek: The AIDS Generation.
Yeah, I wonder who that's from.
From Full Blown AIDS. It's also,
Really?
yeah. It's at least it's contained on the ship. Hamilton edition. I don't even know what that's about. Close Encounters of the 8-Bit Kind. And then Star Trek First Contact. Prepare to be inseminated. I guess so. I guess that's it. We'll give everybody a bell. Because they were nice enough to play. And I think, if I noticed correctly, I think a couple of people kept on going. But anyway. Yeah, so that's the chat room game. Thanks for playing along.
Was the Crystal Skull comment from Palmer?
I don't know. Check. One from Full Blown AIDS. AIDS Kong. Return to Monster Cock Island. Terrible. Terrible.
Monster Cock.
Monster Cock Island. What is?
How about Lord of the Cock Rings?
Ah, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right.
I think someone in Los Angeles already made that one, Jay.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Vivid Video made that already.
Jeez, showing your age, Jay. Vivid Video. It's all Bang Bros or bust these days.
Isn't Vivid still around?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, most videos these days don't start with that broken down sound that happens as you have to play with the tracking.
They can't be out of business. There's no way they're out of business.
Nah, they probably got bought up by somebody.
By Bang Brothers.
by Bang Bros. By
Disney.
Bang Bus.
Disney.
By Disney.
By Disney. On a long enough timeline, Disney will own it all. All right. So I think from there, kids, we get into the emails.
Backside to the Future.
We're doing a whole different game now. Oh, man. All right. Let's little transition here. It's all about the email, the motherfucking email.
Emails.
Emails Incorporated.
Emails.
Let's see, one junk mail that I delete, and then we got one from James. Oh my God, James.
What's up there, James?
Well, I'm not the guy.
I'm a Rado.
I keep forgetting it's on a loop. We got to redo the lyrics for him though. I might write a really long email. It might ramble on and on.
Why don't we do a duet?
Oh, throw it like Islands in the
Like
Stream?
go.
I killed you with Islands in the Stream?
Islands in the Stream.
You are
Is that Kenny Rogers and Dolly? Dolly,
Fuck
right?
yeah. Kenny Rogers chicken.
The other day I thought about you doing Peter Gabriel. I was dying.
Oh, wow.
I was dying because I can't think of Peter Gabriel without thinking of you anymore. You ruined that
Jay,
album.
You want to make it worse, Jay? Just look up pictures of Peter Gabriel from the 60s when he's wearing all sorts of crazy shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then
Like the Moo Moo era?
make it even worse. Yeah. No, I meant like in the 60s when he was with Genesis and they were artsy.
Oh,
He used to wear masks and stuff on stage.
I'm sure he made them all himself.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This is random
Just random
shit
just-
pops into my brain. I hear Bill singing Pico.
It's Police Room 615. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Pico. I'm not even going to do it. You had to be there, folks.
I would say it's episode 192 or 3
Yeah, it's,
in that area.
Yeah, it might. I think it was in the after show, if I remember correctly. So you gotta join the Patreon to get that one. It's not even posted yet. All right. I'm behind on those two. I apologize. I realize this is from James. The title is Another Week Has Gone By. He says, I realize as you were reading my email last week, I forgot to include the fuck you, Jay.
I wasn't here. So.
But since Jay wasn't there, fuck it. I've been enjoying Doom Patrol. It's interesting. What I think is the really good show on DC Universe, though, is Titans. Yeah, Titans is a little more straightforward, but it is really good. He says they did like
Batman.
They did like the Marvel Netflix quality production, and it's pretty good. Starfire will take some getting used to. Seems like some crack horror with the consuming, but once you get past that, with the costuming rather, yeah. Well, that's kind of like I think that's the body that she ends up in. It's kind of a thing there. Anyway, then I saw that they have Birds of Prey too. Oh my God, it's horrible. It's like watching Charmed with less cleavage and even more horrible acting. So I didn't make it too far. So I guess he's got the DC Universe app. So the Birds of Prey show was like on CW back in the days.
Well, that I remember.
Yeah, that was a limited run.
But aren't they making a film?
Yeah. They are making a film.
And tying it into the DC movie universe.
Yeah. It's a straight DC movie. So he's just finding the DC Universe app has all these old shows.
So he's watching the old one.
So he's watching the one from fucking probably 10 years ago.
With Dina Meyer, right?
I'll take your word for it. Like I'd never even seen it I'm just assuming it's low budget as hell and dated now, so it probably looks rough on the edges, I would presume. But anyway.
Well, Ed can probably tell you a lot
Oh, I'm
better.
sure.
But I do remember that she played Barbara Gordon in the wheelchair. Tina Meyer.
Right, sure. They did do that character,
Aren't
Oracle.
they trying to compete with Wizards of Waverly Place with that show?
No. I think their idea was like you graduate from Wizards of Waverly Place to Birds of Prey. Anyway, he goes on, he says, but hey, they do have 3 seasons of Young Justice, which was animated Teen Titans, basically. Everybody loves that. He goes, I fixed my Call of Duty problems. It cost me $5. I bought Call of Duty too. So, okay. It's pretty good, though. Huge learning curve from the original, but it doesn't freeze after every game I play. So
Is that Black Ops, James? Because that was a good game. Call of Duty 2 Black Ops?
I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Or that
we'll
might be
see what he
free.
says in the chat room.
I'm not in the chat room.
No,
James,
I'm
so-
saying he'll respond in 20 seconds or whatever the delay is. He goes, I've also been working my yearly tradition of going through the We're Alive audio drama series free on SoundCloud. Have y'all listened to it yet? I've heard some of it. We're Alive is a zombie apocalypse audio drama podcast thing. I guess it's on SoundCloud. I think it's one of those ones. It's been around for a while. You can find it in a lot of places. But yeah, I listened to the first few. Production quality was pretty good. From what I understand, it just got better and better. Like as the show grew, they put more money into it. It's got quite the following. I think there was even some development on somebody adapting it or something at some point. But he signs off anyway. If I can figure out how the live stream thing works, guess what? You'll be able to watch my horrible games of COD2 on my YouTube channel. It's going to be good for laughs. Hey, man, I'd be willing to check that out. See you live stream, curse, and eventually get kicked off.
What's his...
James, if you have Xbox, you need to download the Twitch app.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's...
What's his handle on YouTube?
He'll have to share that with us in the chat.
I'm going to guess it's Fuck You, Jay.
Okay.
It could be.
That's good.
The way he throws that around.
I want 10%
Oh, my gosh.
of the nothing you're making.
Check it out, boys. We got a last-second Hail Mary email from Wesley. A little late, but he got it in. The main character of the last TV show you watched has kidnapped you. And the person coming to save you is the main character of the last movie you watched. How screwed are you? If you could put that together, the last TV show you watched, the main character, well, who was it? The last TV show you watched?
The last TV show I watched
Yeah.
had to be Walking Dead. So Daryl.
I got you.
And the last movie I watched?
Right. Who's the main character of the last movie you watched?
Last night, what did I watch? It was a movie, too. Shit. Okay, let me get back to you.
Asia Carrera?
Huh?
Riley Reid? Okay, all right.
Let me get back to you.
How about you, Bob? You got a...
Well, let's see. The last movie I watched would be Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, okay.
So she would be saving me.
That's pretty good shape.
So my first instinct about TV show was Discovery, but that was yesterday, and I've been sitting in front of the TV all morning. So, so I'm trying to think. Let's see. Richard Rollins from Yes Monkey Garage.
So he's got you.
He's kidnapped.
And Alita's coming?
And Alita's coming.
Yeah, you're getting that. You're fine. I think you're fine. I mean, he's got some weapons laying around, but I think she'll take him down.
Well, I think I'm all right, too.
Okay.
I just realized when I watched last night.
Yeah.
Years ago, there was a film with Christopher Walken and Sean Penn called At Close Range.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I think I do. I don't know if I remember seeing it, but I think I remember
Christopher
it.
Walken plays like a low rent fucking thug in Texas.
Okay.
And he's got 2 sons that he's estranged with, and
All right.
he tries to rekindle old times with Sean Penn, and then and Christopher Walken is actually really, really good. He's really cool, and he's fucked up.
Okay.
So
who's the main in that?
they both are Sean Penn and Christopher Walken, but I feel like either Walken or Sean Penn would just shoot Daryl in the face
Okay, no questions asked kind of guys.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
walk in, Darryl be like, wait a minute.
Because Christopher Walken is the bad guy, and he'll shoot. He like shoots one of his own sons in that movie.
The time it takes Darryl to get his crossbow out of his back sling or his holster.
This is also 1986 Sean Penn, so
Oh, okay.
he might have shot you in the face.
Fucking
Anyway,
Yeah, he was still smacking Madonna around back then.
That's what I'm saying.
so I think I'd be all right.
Fair enough. Last thing I watched was Doom Patrol, last TV show.
Okay.
So out of that, I'm gonna guess that there's no real main character,
So
but the
just pick
robot.
one-
I think
yeah.
the robot, Mr. Robot, Robot Man rather.
He seems to be the leader.
Yeah, in that episode for sure, he seems the central. So we'll say he's got me. And then the last movie I watched was Spider-Man. Was Into the Spider-Verse. I caught that the other day.
All right, so
And then so Miles is coming to save me.
I think you get out of that.
I think I might get out of that.
Did you like it?
Yeah. I really didn't bother doing a review because we kind of covered it last week a little bit. Bob talked about it, so I was just like, it would have been like ditto. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of a thing.
I didn't see Into the Spider-Verse.
You haven't watched it?
No.
Could have sworn you talked about it. Maybe I am remembering some other conversation.
I covered it a couple weeks back.
Maybe I'm remembering that then. But either way, I was like, somebody talked about it, kind of a thing. And I thought it was you because it was just fresh in my head. It felt anyway. But yeah, I did. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, actually. The visuals, you know what I mean? Revolutionary.
It was very spidery.
That was definitely spiders. There was definitely some spiders.
I mean, the overall feeling was very spidery.
Yeah, well, you got 5 different Spider-Mans
Yeah.
running around. Spider people.
Was Spider-Ham there?
Spider-Ham was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did that.
But not
good.
but not the Simpson version Spider-Pig.
No. They didn't go that far.
Right.
But they alluded to there could be many more versions out there, that kind of thing, you know. They really built that out, you know.
Yeah,
So
I enjoyed that. I don't think it's the best animated film last year.
fair enough.
That's what I said.
So we got Oscars coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Who's getting Best Picture, Jay?
I don't know, man. This is it's hard to predict, but I'll tell you this. I would not be surprised if they gave it to Black Panther.
Right.
I'm gonna say, and the only reason why I say that is because it's kind of like one of those years where you can't really put your finger on it.
You think they might be afraid not to?
Not only that, the SAG Awards, they gave Best Ensemble to Black Panther.
Okay.
That's almost kind of like giving
Yeah.
an acting award to the film.
Sure.
So that's the only reason why I think that it might.
I think it's got a good chance, but I was thinking too, it's like there's a lot of good stuff in there, and I wouldn't be surprised. The only thing is, like, you never see the numbers of how the votes break down, but I have a feeling that behind the scenes, it's going to be, like, very tight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be narrow margins because there's a lot of stuff that's, you know, classically Oscar bait, and then there's stuff that's kind of not. Right. And it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some populist kind of stuff in there this year. So I kind of have a feeling that, like, the voting will be by a Kunther, as some say.
Yeah, they say it's kind of close between Rami Malek and Christian Bale for Best Actor, too.
I think
Sure.
Malik has it in the bag.
After all the rewards that Malik got so far leading up to this.
Yeah, there's that. That's kind of like the
That's like-
pre-indicator.
yeah.
There's one thing about that, and this is the reason why I think that he's going to take it, because he won the SAG, he won the British Academy Award,
Yeah, the BAFTA.
and he won the Golden Globe drama. So it's almost like
Yeah.
the next, if he's got all three,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, I think the biggest, the most important one, the one that says the most is actually the British one. Because Queen,
The BAFTA?
Yeah, because Queen is their band.
Oh yeah.
If he didn't nail it, they were not giving him anything.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but only because it's like they're English. Those people are crazy. You know what I mean? The things that they like.
I want to
you know?
win. I want to win a
They wrap
BAFTA one
fish in
day.
newspaper.
I want to win a BAFTA one day, so I'm going to remain silent.
But anything that I might get nominated for, I can't talk too disparagingly about.
But what I will say is that I think that there is a little something wrong in the voting system.
Well, yeah, they're all kind of
But I
off.
think I'm not the only one that thinks that.
No,
So.
no. It's kind of like, oh, you're the one? No, come on, we all know. You know what I mean?
It's a bit of a popularity contest. Who they're kind of afraid to upset behind the scenes. That kind of thing goes on. You know,
It's just an honor, really, to be nominated. And
It is, right?
and-
That's
yeah.
how I felt when I went up and got
When
my
you-
award.
when you were
That's
nom-
exactly what I said.
Yeah, you were nominated for the Obie.
I'm like, people, it was just an honor to be nominated. Hey, it's better than getting a Razzie. All right,
I'd be there for that too. Just so I can tell John Wilson to fuck himself.
Doesn't Sylvester Stallone have 2 of those?
Sure, probably.
It's probably like for one of the bad First Blood sequels and a bad Rocky sequel.
I mean, who knows what he might have got it for? He might have got it for Rhinestone Cowboy, probably.
Black or
Oh,
Rhinestone Cowboy.
That's what my guess would be. For
No, not Rhinestone Cowboy, but like Rhinestone.
Rhinestone, rather.
Rhinestone.
Fair enough.
With
You should have got one for the song too, but
with Dolly Parton.
Second mention of Dolly on the fucking Wicked.
that's it. That's now we gotta name the episode the Dolly Dolly Palooza or some fucking Dolly reference now. I got nothing left. All right, so let me just queue up something for the fucking for the break.
Bill, do you think the Avengers will get the visual effects?
I think they'll get nothing and they'll be satisfied with it.
Because Black Panther ain't nominated in that category.
Well, I think Black Panther will get some kind of technical stuff. You know what I mean? Because I think there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I want to vote for that and the big, so I'll give it, that whole kind of thing that happens a little bit. Like, well, I'll vote for it over here because I'm not going to vote for it over there.
And that's just it.
You know what I mean? Instead of just kind of just saying, let me just individually focus on this particular thing and just vote for that thing. There's a lot of like internal struggle, I think, for people where it's like, I want to spread it out.
Well, I've worked with a few SAG people, and they get to vote.
Whoa, fucking bragster.
No.
I
But listen, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, they don't. A lot of these people haven't watched these movies, and they're voting, which is really what like kind of irks me in a way.
Oh, sure.
Well, that would be a problem.
Yeah. So again, once they cast their ballot, you don't know what they're voting for. So, and that's just going by me just talking to different people and just saying, "Do you vote?" And they say, "Yeah, they do."
Just saying stuff like,
And what's to say that they're even going to be reading out of the right envelope? There's not even a hostess, right? That has happened in the past.
yeah, no host this year.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey should read every Best Picture. He should be the guy that opens the Best Picture.
And just to clarify the ongoing drama in the chat room of who won the chat room game, you all win. Because the prize is nothing.
Who's
So everybody gets the gift.
I bet you it's James and
prize.
Full Blown AIDS going at
It
it.
is full-blown AIDS. I know that he posed the question earlier. I saw that. So if it came back up, he might keep...
Do you know who that is?
I'm not off the top of my head, but it does seem like it's probably someone we might know.
Okay.
And it might be somebody who we're like,
Is it Ed?
no.
He wouldn't do that.
That would be a great cover for Ed, though.
Yeah, we a great.
Just be like, the most extreme, other side of the spectrum kind of name.
What
like,
about
you know
Dom?
It could be Dom. Could be Dom under an alias. But or who would have a dark enough streak in them to want to come into our chat room and just kind of be
Our brother David?
and be kind of funny enough to drop funny jokes that are dark and fucked up.
Well,
I don't know about all the jokes. I know the list is really long for you. Yeah, and that's James's point. And again, full-blown AIDS keeps going, he? I keep referencing he, and it wants to hint that could be anybody. Could be, maybe it's a fucking asexual ghost. It's like Casper, but, non-gender specific.
So in case it's a woman, what females you know who are ball busters?
Or that might have full-blown AIDS. Could it be someone with AIDS, as full-blown AIDS asks right now? It's possible.
Kind of a warning, stay away from me.
Who would have this much time on a Saturday night?
Agent Palmer.
He's known for creating dual identities online, but this one's not him, I don't think.
You want to make this like 20 questions with full-blown age, try to figure out who she is.
Full-blown age is like choose a winner, like you know, what I mean, like on the chat game. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really what I do.
Refuse.
All right, so with that, it's time to start wrapping it up. But we're gonna come back. We're gonna do a little bit more live show. We're just gonna kind of play a song so we can take a quick bathroom break or whatever, and then that's gonna be that. You know what I mean? And then we'll be right back in like 2 minutes. And again, full-blown AIDS. Again, someone with AIDS who has a lot of Saturday time, and I'd like to say.
I think if you have AIDS, you have a lot of Saturday time.
Yes, especially if it's full blown. That's what I was going to say. You're at home, you got nothing to do, tired of the TV.
You got the pill bottles all in a row waiting.
You know, there's a lot of pills. But AZT cocktails, there's a lot of work goes into that. So, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to take a little break, play a little tune in the middle. It'll probably annoy somebody. And then when we come back, you guys can give us crap about that. So... if you're listening live, thank you very much. If you're not listening live, come hang out with us on Saturday nights.
I'm at Bob, WTPC.
That is correct. Jay?
What?
On the Twitters, where can people find you?
I don't remember.
That's probably true.
My Uncle Jay's thing.
Uncle Jay's thing. I'm at Wicked Theory. The show's at wickedtheory.com. And I guess that's going to do it.
Yeah. We'll come back and maybe not tell you who won the chat game.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Or maybe. You know,
one bourbon.
Yeah, one bourbon,
one
one scotch, one AIDS. It just seems to be the theme of the episode. All right, folks, we're coming back in a couple of minutes. If you're not listening live, come listen live. We do it for you. Good night, folks. Come back next week. If you want to come back next week, we'll be here. We're always
Later, guys.
here.
Peace.
Bruce.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.